Something pretty odd went on with Jimmy Kimmel last night as he canceled his show at the last minute and offered zero explanation why. Now, first and foremost, if his kids are sick or whatever, that sucks. And if that ends up being what it is, that's what it is. But I'm surprised that you wouldn't have kind of announced that. I'm thinking it's at least possible that maybe Disney's not so happy with the drop, same thing, in his overall ratings, which are down something like 60 or 70% since coming back after his little vacation. And this story is actually pretty wild. Let's get into it. Huge shout out to everyone, by the way. Thanksgiving's coming. Our spiked jack-o'-lantern is in stock at Amazon. It'll be to you before Thanksgiving, as well as our maple cream. If you haven't gotten the maple cream yet, pick up some maple cream, pick up some spiked jack-o'-lantern, either for you or bring it with you to that Thanksgiving feast. Help get more people hooked on my coffee. Plus, you'll be an absolute chat. I guarantee you nobody remembers to bring coffee to these things. If you bring a nice coffee, people are going to be like, oh, this is such a nice gift. And people will love it. Also, we started our pre-order for our 12 days of coffee box. We doubled the amount of coffee and cocoa that is in there. It's obviously a much different selection than last year. There's also 2 chocolatey snacks. It is much improved, and it is the same price as it was last year. We're only doing 500 though, since we have to fill them ourselves because we've gotten lean at Coffee Brand Coffee too to try and get control of costs. So we can only do 500. So if you want to get them, order them now. Link in the description. Jimmy Kimmel cancels show at 11th hour over host's, quote, personal matter. Jimmy Kimmel's late night was mysteriously canceled at the last minute last night. The episode was set to feature David Duchovny, Stranger Things actor Joe Keery, and musical guest Madison Beer. Don't know who any of these people are except for David Duchovny, who broke the news of the 11th hour decision on social media. Not one single person at ABC has addressed the abrupt move, but somebody leaked that it was, quote, a personal matter. The October 28th episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live aired in its place, leaving viewers confused and questioning why the sudden switch. Daily Mail has contacted the network for comment. Now, Beer wrote on X at 6:33 p.m. Eastern, due to unforeseen circumstances, Jimmy Kimmel Live needs to reschedule my performance that was originally scheduled to air tonight to a later date. Jimmy Kimmel Live typically films Monday through Thursday at 4:30 Pacific time and airs at 11:35 Eastern. A fan shared an email apparently sent from the show's audience team apologizing for the move, but it offered zero clues as to what caused it. Now, I'll say this. I think it's one of the most pathetic, things to do to politicize your children like this. If Jimmy Kimmel and his wife want to go protest, I think that's totally fine. The fact that you're dragging your kids to these protests is cringe and dumb. Like, say no to the spray tan man. His favorite food is Cheetos. Why would you raise your 8-year-old to even be into politics at all? That's so weird. Kimmel's show was pulled from the air several days after. We all know about what happened with the Charlie Kirk stuff. But here's what's interesting. Here's the post. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Jimmy Kimmel Live needs to reschedule my performance that was originally set to air tonight to a later date. I'll share more details on timing when I can. I can't wait to see all of you. Nobody. Kimmel has rarely missed a show in 22 years as a host. It's pretty odd. It's pretty odd that he canceled it with zero. And there has been nothing online. I haven't found anything. But by the way, here's another annoying clip of Jimmy Kimmel. Him telling his children, he told his children that Trump got him fired from his show, even though we now know as a fact that didn't happen.
Our son asked if the president had done this. And we looked at each other and we didn't quite know how to answer that question.
I think I said yes.
We did. We actually both said yes at the exact same time. We said yes, he did.
But the president didn't do it. The president didn't fire Jimmy Kimmel. It was just a lie put up by mainstream media. So you see here, so he lied to his son instead of taking responsibility for lying about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Great guy. Why are we surprised he lies to his kids just like his childish audience? You know, his ratings were horrible. That's why he got canceled. I mean, no, it was, we know for a fact that it was Sinclair Group that, you know, wanted to know. People have no idea what's going on. Now, look, if his kid is sick or something like that, you know, I don't want to like make fun of him for that. But remember that Jimmy Kimmel is a scumbag. And who knows? You know, people are speculating online, you know, that it was a personal matter. You see, can this be my early Christmas present? Personal matter is that he needs immediate treatment for a severe Trump derangement syndrome. Trump did it in 3, 2, 1. You mean personality? I mean, maybe he had a vax injury. I don't know who watches this guy. Like, legitimately, I have no idea. I have no idea. Even if you look at Late Nighter, even Kimmel Live did not address this. No explanation has been provided for the cancellation, but Late Nighter understands it had to do with a, quote, personal matter. The show is scheduled to return with new episodes next week. But is it, though? Is it? I mean, I don't think anybody actually cares. Like, nobody watches Jimmy Kimmel. You know, who can forget all of his great work calling the guy that assassinated Charlie Kirk a MAGA supporter? You know, if I look, you know, if I even try to find, I think Jimmy Kimmel actually has me, let me see, he blocked me, I think. Yeah, he blocked me. And he hasn't used Twitter since Election Day. So he's one of those guys where like, oh, I spend my time on Threads. I don't know why you would cancel your show and tell nobody, but it's pretty interesting to me. You see, what's interesting is Rogan on Kimmel too.
Kimmel has this sort of go fuck yourself style. Look, it's kind of ironically, he celebrated in his monologue when Tucker Carlson got fired.
Right.
It's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of a problem that he, in his monologue, talked about how it was the right thing to fire Roseanne.
Yeah, I remember that.
A little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when he said, "Oh, I don't want to be canceled for my opinions, but Roseanne getting fired for making a joke, that was okay. That Tucker Carlson being fired, that was okay, but not him."
A little bit of a problem. Also a problem that he thought the unvaccinated, he made a joke about the unvaccinated people shouldn't get hospital care if there's people who are vaccinated that need that room. I think the joke was, oh, vaccinated person who's had a heart attack, come right in here, sir. Unvaxxed person who gobbled horse goo,
correct.
Rest in peace, Wheezy.
That's
like,
correct.
That was the joke.
This guy, you know, it's so funny to me that even if you look at the media, right? Here's Joe, you know, roasting him again.
Particularly when you think about the UK, which has had more than 12,000 arrests for very mild social media posts.
Isn't that crazy? I mean,
Criticizing-
I can't believe that. I've been watching this stuff play out.
Fascinating, and the fact that our mainstream media is relatively silent on this is insane. You're seeing a complete, total attack on one of the most fundamental principles of the Western world, which is your ability to express yourself. And your ability to call out that you think that the policies that are being implemented in your country are destructive. That's people have always been able to do that. These people are not calling for violence.
Yep.
And he's going to talk about how the media cared more about Jimmy Kimmel than any of these people who are literally getting arrested.
Being arrested for wild things.
Yeah.
People are being arrested for liking posts.
Yep.
They're being some people were investigated for viewing posts.
Yeah, I don't know about
12,000
that.
people arrested by the police in the UK, the same place that just implemented digital ID. I mean, this is an Orwell nightmare coming to life right in front of our face, and no one's flinching. No one in
They want
America
it.
is freaking out about what's happening in the UK at all. I mean, you get people online that are kind of freaked out by it, but they're way more freaked out by nonsensical things like whether or not what Jimmy Kimmel said in his monologue was offensive.
Yeah.
They'll go to the ends of the earth to.
I mean, he's 100% right. Now, he is also right that people online absolutely positively are aware of, they are aware of digital ID. They are aware that this is a problem. We've talked about it on this channel many, many times about people who are getting arrested in the UK. I mean, a close personal friend of mine, Count Dankula, that's how we met when he was arrested for training his dog to do a funny joke. Okay. They tried to ruin his life over that. And that was what, 8 or 10 years ago now? The UK doesn't have free speech. But then it started coming into Canada and now the United States. We have, the attorney, or, Pam Bondi talking about hate speech and anti-Semitism. Look, I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't think about Jews at all throughout the day. But if people want to have a problem with them, this is America. They're allowed to have a problem with them. People want to have a problem with me. This is America. They're allowed to say they have a problem with me. And when now we have, anti-Semitism laws, but we don't have, any kinds of, other, we don't have any other kinds of laws against speech on the books other than that. It's weird. And that's the first step to a slippery slope. Then they'll be like, well, you can't make race-based jokes anymore. You can't, and it's going to be just like the UK if more people don't speak up about it. But yeah, the media is more concerned about Jimmy Kimmel because, well, at the end of the day, the media supports the censorship, and that goes without saying.